welcome to the Toffee Blues, where Terry and I are here to kickstart our player review segments for this season. Of course, we know the season could still be resumed and completed, but at this stage, I think we can all agree any ending to this season is going to have a completely different feel to it to what came before. So we're going to crack on with it anyway. And we're going to start this series with our big Colombian, Yerry Mina. He's a player who was thrusted into the spotlight at the start of the season after we failed in our pursuit of Kurt Zouma. Mina was, of course, primarily a substitute during his first season at Goodison, but still did well when called upon. But this season saw the need for him to take on a lot more responsibility in the first team, and this show will hopefully discuss just how well he has handled the more prominent role that he was given in the team this year. So, Terry, what have you made of Mina's performances this year?
They've been what I've expected, to be honest. I mean, we only saw him briefly last season. You know, injuries played a big part. We signed him injured. He got himself re-injured a couple of occasions, and then he couldn't get in the team due to the good form of Keenan Zouma. Now, we're going into this season, you know, obviously we chased Zouma all summer and then, you know, didn't come off, and, you know, we know what happened there, you know, last minute loan deals going in for other players and what have you. So we started the season, and I honestly had no concerns over Mina's ability. I just had concerns over his injury record, which, to be honest, was a sensible thing to think, because he is still quite young. He, you know, 22, maybe 23 at the start of the season. But he'd had all the season before basically out the team. When he had come in, he had played well. You know, the 2 games against Chelsea, which he was ineligible for, Mina played well in both of those games. So I knew I felt there was a good defender there. My issue was, which has been proven to be wrong, I was worried what would happen if one of them got an injury out of Keenan and Mina. I thought we've got no depth because I don't think Holgate's good enough, which he's probably proved me wrong on. Mina's got the physical ability in spades. He's a good big stopper of a defender. You know, he's powerful in the air. Unorthodox way of moving. Like, he sometimes just, you know, falls over and blocks, you know, shots on goal. Yeah, he's a strange one like that. But natural ability, I think he's got it. He you know, he's obviously, his brain sometimes abandons him. For me, I went into the season looking at him as our top defender because I had less doubts ability-wise over him than I did for Keane. Because although I've gone out and cold on Keane, I definitely felt that Mina was our strongest defender, and I think on the strength of the whole season, I'd be right in writing my assessment. I think Mina's been he would be in there until very recently for a shout for our player of the season, until obviously the turnaround of form of some other players, you know, Holgate, Calvert-Lewin and what have you. But he's certainly the most consistent across the whole season, Mina. I think he surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, I think during the early spell of the season when we were really poor under Silva, I think he was one of the few who could sort of walk out of it with his head held high. I think certainly before Duncan Ferguson took over, he was probably one of the few with any sort of respectability from the early stages of this season. And obviously there's plenty we'd want to gloss over in that first couple of months of the season, but how do you think he's gone on? I do feel that since Ancelotti's come in, there's been a lot of rotation between the 3 centre-backs, hasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, more so than you'd expect. There was a lot of times where you go, oh, what's he dropped in for and all that. It just seems to be something Ancelotti does. You know, until the season stoppage, I definitely got the impression that he was having a good look at the players he had to see if he wanted to keep going forward. But he sort of landed on an unlikely but effective centre-back partnership of Holgate and Mina, because Holgate's pace and his ability on the ball allowed Mina to go into his more natural position, the right-hand side centre-back who goes to meet the ball, the dominant centre-back of the pair. And to be honest, Carragher, I hate to quote Carragher, but he got it right on Sky once. He said, there's a lot of centre-back partnerships like big brother, little brother. You know, like one's physically more powerful and commanding, and one is more of a footballer. And I think that is, you know, after a fashion, what we've got with Mina and Holgate. So now I think, you know, looking to go forwards, I think Mina is up against Keane for that spot. I don't think Mina is up against Holgate. I think Holgate starts anyway. He's the only one who's appropriate for that position.
Certainly.
In the team of the ball playing centre backs, but I think Mina is a long way ahead of Keane. When everyone's fit, I don't think Keane gets anywhere near the team over either of them.
Well, there you go. And I think, I'll be honest, I don't want to be blowing my own trumpet here because it's going to be one of them I like such and such before it was cool. But I thought when Mina first arrived, I was hoping that it would end up being a partnership between Mina and Holgate out of the 4 defenders we had. But obviously it turned out to be the other 2, Keane and Zuma, who went on to be the main one. And I thought, oh, there's me with egg on my face, and then look what happens. What a difference a year makes.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. I was a Mason Holgate doubter for a long time. I felt like he could be a good right back, but not a centre back, and he's proved me wrong. But I was the opposite. I thought that Mina and Zuma would have been the ideal partnership because, you know, the combination of everything. But then they tried that once against Newcastle, and you know, the game after the derby where Pickford dropped the ball. It was key. It was Mina and Zuma for that game and that game only as a partnership, and I don't think that meant that's it. They're not good enough. They can't, you know, they drew at home to Newcastle. They can't, you know, they can't play well together. But I would have, if we'd have got Zuma, I would have went into the season wanting that to be the centre back partnership personally. But whatever combination, I think for a lot of people, Mina was in it. I don't think anyone went to the season, very few at least, thinking Keane and Holgate will be our partnership.
Well, definitely. I think for me, it was more Holgate was the quickest, and I was hoping that he'd kick on. And in fairness, he has now. But at the time, like maybe just over a year ago, it didn't look likely. And
no, you're right. Well, he's done well, hasn't he?
He's done very well. And of course, Yerry Mina's been, like you say, probably the main centre-back partner he's had. And we've been doing pretty well at the back since Carlo took over. Obviously, there's one game we've got to focus on since Carlo took over, and it's that game where he scored twice against Watford and goaded the fans. Apparently, he goaded the Watford fans with his dancing. And I mean,
when we signed him, everyone knew him as that Colombia defender who kept scoring headers at the World Cup. Then people saw that he dances whenever he scores, and he only scored against Burnley the season before, didn't he? And he only danced for like a second. He had a goal ruled out this season for offside, and there was not offside, sorry, for a foul, and there was not.
I was at the West Ham game, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with it. And then obviously he scores 2 at Watford, and we finally get to see his dancing celebration because it was ruined at Burnley and it got taken away from us against West Ham. So we've been waiting nearly 2 years to see Yerry Mina score a goal and start dancing. And mate, when he scores at Goodison, you know the roof's going to blow off because everyone's waiting for him to do it. You just know he's going to net at the street ends and just start dancing in one of the corners, and everyone's going to be loving life.
It's one
if we ever get back into stadiums, that is, if we ever go to Goodison again.
It's one of them. Of course, Yerry Mina, though, that I just remember him whining. There's a fan who gets really triggered by his dancing and like loses it in the post-match interview.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely hilarious, but it was one of those. He is a threat from set piece, and I don't think our set piece delivery is good enough, to be honest, to get the most out of him in that respect.
God knows why. It's just the case of Everton, isn't it? We've got Sigurdsson, who spent his whole career being excellent from set pieces, and now all of a sudden at Everton don't score off many set pieces. He hasn't scored a direct free kick yet, and Mina suddenly can't find the ball off corners. We're just cased.
There must be some kind of Everton constant in there that tells every corner taker to hit the first man. But obviously, before we finish, Yerry Mina season review. What would you give him? What score out of 10?
I'd give him a 6 out of 10. That sounds like it's harsh, but I don't want to. I don't want to be going too mad and giving him higher than that. But I think he's been, okay. He's been above average, but doesn't set the world on fire. But because let's be honest, only one of 2 players have set the world on fire for the season.
That's it, yeah. I think
Mina's been the most consistent, but not the most exciting. I'd say it that way.
Yeah, that's probably a good way of putting it. I'd have gone with a similar score myself. So, yeah, that's kind of the general consensus, I think, on Mina's season. He's done pretty well, but like you say, he's a centre-back. He's never going to set the world alight.
No, exactly. But he's done well. Been Mr. Consistent for the majority of the season compared to some of the other players. Even some of the better players for the season review haven't been as consistent as him.
Certainly. But there you have it. That's the verdict on Yerry Mina for the season. That brings us to the end of this analysis. If you're watching on YouTube, drop us a comment on the video and let us know how you think the big Colombian got on this season. Give us a like and a subscribe, and thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues. No, no,